Hi everybody. It's been a while since I've been here on my channel, and I know everybody tells me I'm not supposed to apologize. I tend to do that a lot, but I did want to say I'm sorry that I haven't been back, and I intend to start showing up. It's my new motto, show up to go up. So that's my new motto. That's what I'm doing. I wanted to come and talk to you today about why I haven't been here for a while and what's been going on. So nothing has been said, I don't think, on my videos, but I lost my husband last February. He passed away February 4th of this year. And we had been married 57 years, and we were high school sweethearts. We'd known each other since we were 14 and 15. So we had quite a history. And so I kind of want to talk to you today about my experiences and going through that, and grief, and what to expect, and things to do, some help to get. So I'm going to kind of share some of those thoughts, and I have absolutely no notes. So this is random, just from my heart. And so we'll see what happens. So I told you he passed February 4th, and he had some health challenges, but it was sudden. And I'm 76, and I have never seen anybody take their last breath until now. So he was in bed and he was trying to get up. My daughter was there helping us, and he just fell back out of her arms and took his last breath. And I was in total shock, disbelief for a little while, and then reality jolted me back really quick, and we called 911 and they came out, and we had an order that we had filled out through the doctor for do not resuscitate. And so I showed the paramedics that form, and he said that it was a good thing that we had decided that, because in the length of time it took them to get here, and then in the time they worked with him, they had absolutely no heartbeat. And so he said, you're really making a good decision. He said people usually don't come back from that, and if they do, they don't come back in good shape. So I'll spare you all of the details of my grieving of that day and everything that I went through. We all experience it different, and I think that's the main thing. I'm sharing this with you. I guess I should preface this, that I'm sharing this because I'm sharing it for my growth. I'm sharing it for any of you that might be watching this that might have experienced or be around the corner from experiencing a great loss. And or maybe you know someone that you could share this video with if you think it could help them. And so I don't know in what order to share this. And so since I have it in my hand, and the other thing that I should say is that I waited 6 months to come on here and talk to you guys, because I couldn't have done it before. But I think I've stepped over a small threshold to where I can do that. So if I cry, just love me anyway. I'm still going through it. And with that, I'm going to cry right now just because I said so. So I'll try and get over that. But I've got this in my hand. And so the first thing I wanted to do was, it's not necessary to understanding grief, but just where I am. And this is probably where I'll cry, so I'll just preface it right now. This is my family. When we were growing up, we were grown, the kids were growing. This is my wonderful husband. Isn't he adorable? He looked like Fonzie or Elvis. That was the era that we grew up in. And that was us in our heyday. And we were having a lot of fun. So that was us. And this is the last picture that we took of my husband. It's a big one. My daughter blew it up for the memorial. And this was kind of him in a nutshell. You know, he was always, we were at a party that day and kids were riding on motorcycles and stuff. One of the guys had a motorcycle and kids were riding on it. And he was just standing in the background watching. He was the supporter, the encourager. He was a great guy. So now I will try to go on without crying. Compose myself a little bit. So, for the first couple of months after he passed, I didn't do much of anything. I just stayed in the house. I didn't go anywhere or do anything. I didn't go to church. Until the memorial, I didn't even want to see anybody. I have an adorable little puppy dog that's really helped me. It's fun to have her. She makes me laugh. But I didn't want to walk her. So I reached out to my neighbor and I asked her if she would take Molly out for walks because I didn't want to run into anybody and have to answer questions. So she took Molly out for her walks, and I pretty much stayed in the house. I just went out for whatever I had to. We had Gar's memorial. It was absolutely wonderful and beautiful, and he was so honored at that. And that was wonderful. So then, moving forward, after the memorial, I went to church one week, and then I just fell apart so bad. I didn't go for the next week or two, and then I started going again. And so little at a time, I just started getting back out there. And I have my times. I would say that probably, I thought I could do this without crying, but I can't. So thanks for loving me through it. I would say that about 4 days out of 7, I probably go to bed and miss him and cry. I have something happen, a thought will cross my mind, or I'll drive by somewhere that reminded me of him, and I cry. And they say that the first year of grieving your spouse is the worst. I've also lost my mother and father, and so I know what it's like to grieve. And there's nothing like the loss of them either. But this is different. The loss of your spouse is different because you lose a piece of yourself. You get married in front of God and you commit to be as one. And then you're really only one. So you lose a piece of yourself. Someone said it's like losing an arm. I think it was more than that. Nobody knew me like he did. We were just able to share so much because we knew everything about each other. There wasn't anything we didn't know. So it hurts. So I had heard to join a grief share group. And if, as a recommendation for you or anyone you might know, the grief share groups are great. They're about 12 weeks in session, and then they take like 3 weeks off. And the grief share group was in, wow, I needed a Kleenex. The grief share group was on break when Gar passed, and so I'm like, what do you mean they're on break? You know, I need somebody. I need somewhere to go. And but I had to wait till they came back off break. And then I didn't know where to go. Honestly, I went on Facebook and I went into my own page and I just asked for recommendations for where to go. And a lot of the churches have them as the best place to go, I think. I will tell you, I don't know how anybody gets through a loss like this without the Lord in their life. I just don't know. You know, you still have your grieving, but oh my gosh, you have him to lean on. Such a savior in so many ways. So anyway, I went to 2 or 3 different ones. And so if you go to a grief share group, don't feel like you have to stay there. Search out 2 or 3 of them and find one that where you feel like you fit and it works with you. They have a little book, and they have a couple of different books depending on where you're going. This particular church, the grief share, the book is small. One of the other groups had a larger book, and it's specifically for loss of a spouse. And I would really recommend that when you go to these, that you go to one for the loss of a spouse. If you've lost another family member, you might seek out another organization that will help you with that, because the loss of a spouse is so different. Loss of a parent is so different. Loss of a child is so different. They're all different. So it's a big help, and I recommend them highly. There's also, I got on a grief share email, and so it comes out daily, and most of the subjects were good for me. They had a couple that really weren't helpful to me, and honestly I didn't bother reading those because they titled them, and so I would skip over those days. So the grief share groups are great. The email was really good. I really enjoyed that. I had a couple of friends close to me lose their spouses within a couple of days to 6 weeks after Gar passed, and I shared this same information with them. I had another book that we went through Target with my grandson, and he was just wandering through, and I had a basket and I was just following him. And we went by the book section, the video section, and it was the back side of it. And they had a book laying on the shelf, and I swear to you, this book just leaped out off of the shelf and leaped into my hands and said, "Put me in the cart and take me home." And so I bought the book, and it really doesn't talk about the grieving loss of a spouse or anything like that. But it was a really good book for me, and it hit me in so many ways, and I couldn't put it down. I just read it it took me about a week to read the whole book. I really got into it, and every chapter almost made me cry about something. And I found relations to it with my situations with Gar, and it just affected me. So here's the name of the book. I didn't know this when I bought it, but it is written by a Christian lady, Lisa Turkhurst, or something like that. It's called "It's Not Supposed to Be This Way." And there's the book, and I don't know if it's right side up or wrong side up. But I will tell you, it's showing her upside down on the cover. And the title is "It's Not Supposed to Be This Way," and it's by Lisa, Lysa. Last name is Terkeurst. And it was a really good book, and I shared it with a couple of other people, and they gave it back to me. I had another book, and I don't remember the title of it. I wish I had gotten that. A friend sent it to me, and I read it, and I bought a couple for my friends and gave it to them. And I'll find out the title of it, and I'll put it in the comments below, because it may be of help to you or someone you know as well. And I went to a book club, which was new for me. And the second month I was there, I had read and finished this book. And there, I knew there was a woman there that had recently lost her spouse, but I didn't really know her. I just heard that she had lost her spouse. And so I shared this book and said, if you know anybody that has recently lost a spouse, and she just leaped out of the chair and came running over to me and got the book. And so I haven't heard from her. I don't know. I hope she enjoyed it and that it helped her in some way. I've gone through some firsts. I've been through Easter and my birthday, and both of those days were tough. I went through Gar's birthday, and I went through our 58th wedding anniversary. And they say the first year is the hardest, many reasons I'm sure, but probably a lot of those firsts when you're, experiencing each one of those holidays without your spouse. So obviously I still have some more to go because I'm just 6 months into this. I keep slapping my leg, sorry. I'm just 6 months into this, and so there will be more yet to go. I am better every week. I'm not going to say every day. It doesn't happen that quick. But every week, every month, I get better. And it is a journey. I went to an annual event that my company has, and I've not missed one in 17 years, and so I wanted to be there badly, but on the other hand, I just didn't want to go, and I didn't know why I didn't want to go, and I just cried and complained, and I had my tickets and I was going, but I'm like, I just don't feel like I want to go. I don't know why. I'm sure it was over all of this, just same situation. But I got there and I was so glad I went, and I had a wonderful time, and I know he would have wanted me there because, as I said, he was my biggest supporter, my family's biggest supporter, everybody's biggest supporter. Nobody was a stranger to him. He loved friends. He made friends everywhere. And so I know he would have wanted me to be there. I had a couple of teary moments while I was there, but for the most part, it was wonderful. And so I loved it. I'm glad I went. And then my youngest daughter and I are going to Idaho in October. She's always wanted to go, and I think she wants to spend some time with me, and I certainly do her. She has 6 kids, so she has a really, really busy life. And so we're going to Idaho. It's just a quick trip, 2 or 3 days. We're going to see some people and see some sights. It's going to be quick. But we're looking forward to getting away in our time there, and it will be fun. I don't know if there's going to be any change of the leaves or anything because I live in sunny Southern California, so we don't have much changing of the leaves. Let's see, some other things I wanted to share with you, and I can't think of what they were now. So I may have a second shorter video on this if I can think of what they were. I have no idea how long this video has been going. I didn't bring my watch in, but I know it's been long, so I apologize for that. But I hope it blesses someone, and I thank you for listening and letting me share my heart, my journey, what I've been through and what I'm going through, and I'm grateful for each and every one of you, and I'm going to move forward. I do have another thing I want to talk to you about regarding all of this. It's not this heavy, but anyway, just something else I want to share. And I will be back on here. I have some things happening, and I wanted to share too that one of the reasons that I like doing these videos, and I also have done some Facebook Lives, is because I have my friends and I go out with my friends, but I lost my partner, and the one that I communicate with and that I share my heart with, and we just talk to about everything. And so I like coming here and talking to you guys and just sharing what's on my mind. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you made it till the end. And if you did, just know I love you from the bottom of my heart. If nobody tells you today, I did. Have an awesome day. and I'll be back soon. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.